high school world. So this year we're really playing senior year. It's the last time that they're going to have a senior prom. It's the last time they're going to have a homecoming game. So we're really digging in deep into the high school franchise.
And I understand we're going to have a new familiar face within the hallowed halls of Riverdale with the new principal.
That is true. Principal Weatherby joined the cult, the farm, and he ascended. He ascended. So we're welcoming Kerr Smith, who's going to be playing the new Principal
Who?
Honey.
Do you know who that is?
And
okay, I don't
we
either.
wanted to
Good.
have her on the show since season 1. Of course, he was iconically in Dawson's Creek. He was Jack.
Oh my God.
And he already, I think, has filmed scenes with most of these guys.
What's it been like welcoming him to the Riverdale halls?
He's really good. I just shot a scene with him a few days ago, and he was very talented and very great in that role.
He's a legend.
We have to talk about, of course, the biggest cliffhanger that we saw at the end of the season 3 finale, which was that Betty, Archie, and Veronica were in a flash forward to spring break. They were in the middle of the woods, wearing not too much, and covered in blood, and the only thing we saw of Jughead was his iconic beanie. Cole, when you first read that script, what was your reaction?
No more smelly hat. No, I like it. I mean, I think the beanie and the whoopee cap has served as kind of the most iconic symbol for the Archie comics for 75 years, aside from KJ's rooster top. And I think the act of burning it is a really good hook, and I think it's really interesting. But I'm not going to spoil anything, which is why you guys are even listening right now.
Lily, KJ, and Cammie, what was it like for you to film that scene?
Cold.
Freezing.
It was like 3 in the morning, and we were naked. And we had no idea what had just happened. So they were just like, just staring into the fire. Yeah. Like, okay, just look serious.
Roberta, are you going to make us wait all season before we get those answers?
No, we this season, that's one of our big mysteries, obviously, what happened to Jughead and the kids that night. And we are building up it. Kind of the middle of the season, our mid-season finale is going to be that night depicted in the flash forward. And in episodes leading up to it, we're going to flash forward to other events that from that night and immediately after that night. So you'll start to kind of piece it together, I think.
We also left off on a major cliffhanger with Miss Cheryl Blossom as she welcomed her brother Jason back into Thistle House. Madeline, for Cheryl, can you talk to us
Oh, man,
through
I'm
her
behind.
mindset a little bit right now and why she'd like to welcome Jason?
I would love nothing more. Well, a lot of people think it's funny that she has her brother in her basement, but when you remember that Edgar was hypnotizing her and using her brother's dead body for her to speak to Jason, it kind of opened up this wound again for Cheryl, and now she's got this Jason-sized hole in her heart, and I think the only way she could cope with the loss again is to just bring him back and not really deal with it. And so right now we're in this place where her mental health is at an all-time low. I mean, she's talking to a dead body, and I think it's actually quite heartbreaking. We do have some funny elements to it, obviously, because it's Cheryl. We keep it light, but it's like when you look at it, the scene's going to be a little bit dark.
But I also understand that Cheryl's going to have a lot of responsibility this year because she's looking after her twins, the little cousins.
I'm not sure who a better guardian would be, me or Nana Blossom, but we're going to figure it out. Maybe we'll throw Tony in the ring, see who can duke it out for the babies.
And I'm also really excited because we're getting a Halloween episode this year. Why
Yes!
are you excited for Cheryl Blossom?
Well, it's her favorite time of the year, naturally, as the gothic heroine that she is, so it's going to be a very fun episode. And
It's episode 4. We've never been able to do a Halloween episode because the schedule's never worked out. So this year, episode 4 airs on October 30th. So we've got a really fun, spooky episode for everyone.
Someone died.
Yes.
Ah!
Yeah, someone dies.
someone at this table.
Someone important?
No one at this table. Go on.
Do I still have a job?
Roberto, have you already figured out what our characters will be dressing up for Halloween?
It's so funny. I do know what Archie's going to be. Huh?
Spider-Man?
I'm calling it out.
I know what Archie's going to be dressed as, and we're trying to get clearance on some DC comic book characters for Cheryl and Tony.
Ooh.
And Betty is at home giving out candy to trick-or-treaters, so
Of course.
No fun allowed for Betty.
No fun allowed for Betty. No, you got a fun story, scary story.
So I'm the one who dies. I'm the one who learned the killer that night.
Let's keep the conversation going with focusing on Betty. Betty and Jughead have always had a lot in common, like their shared love of sleuthing and the ability to look amazing in leather jackets. But now they also have a shared half-brother, as we were introduced to Charles in the season 3 finale. How is the introduction of their real half-brother going to kind of shake up their dynamic this year, Lily?
I don't know. I mean, I think there might be some awkward family dinners in the future, but I also think maybe it's a good opportunity if and when Alice returns from the farm, for maybe Alice and FP to rekindle something, because I think that's really cute. But I don't know, they're not related by blood, so I guess it's fine, right?
There are categories for that on the internet.
But Lily, what would you say is Betty's biggest obstacle as she goes into season 4? She now knows that her mom was an FBI informant and she wasn't totally drinking the farm's crazy Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I mean, I think she
Oh
feels
man, I
a
need to catch up.
little by her mom clearly for having method acted her way through that entire season, being the FBI informant. But also she's grieving the loss of her father, whom she feels like she can't really miss because that would make her a bad person, because the Black Hood Hal was a murderer, but he was also her father, and there were years of him being good to her, so she's kind of struggling to understand whether she can miss him or not, and whether that's morally right, and Jughead is there for her during that, which is really sweet.
Well, and Cole, I understand that Jughead is once again introducing audiences to a new school in Riverdale.
Yep.
What can you tell us about his academic journey in season 4?
I think this is a prep school. So Jughead gets whisked away on a scholarship to a very sort of gossip girl, Upper East Side, preppy, pretentious, Richie Rich, Silver Spoon.
Richie Rich is a character on Riverdale this year.
Love it.
No, he's not.
And he's going to be the new blood, he's part of this writing scholarship. So he's part of this little Dead Poets Society that they have over at this new school. And Jughead's already kind of a pretentious character, so he's going to be out pretentious by all of these incredibly tall and beautiful people. But yeah, I think it's fun, and the school also kind of serves, I'd assume, maybe I'm just speaking out of turn here, but it serves as the setting for what, the flash forward?
Yeah, some of the one of the big mysteries of the season is kind of centered around Jughead at the new school, which is also kind of going to be a big rival school for Riverdale High. So Archie and the Bulldogs will be having a football match with the Stonewall Stags, which is the name of that.
Stonewall what?
Stags.
What are stags?
Stags.
Like a horse?
Like a deer.
Like a deer?
With horns.
With horns.
Like a
The
cow.
first time hearing
She
it.
doesn't know what a stag is?
Stonewall stag.
I understand we're going to be seeing a lot more of our sibling dynamics this year and seeing a lot more scenes between Jughead and Jellybean, which I'm really excited about. Cole, what are you hoping to see from their sibling dynamic moving forward?
I really like the dynamic in the comics where Jughead is so overprotective of Jellybean, which I thought was kind of cute in the digest. But it's also kind of it's kind of a weird thing for an older brother to do. So I'd like to see how Trinity works with feeling, I don't know, I'm maybe a bit uncomfortable with that. I like older protective Jug quite a bit.
No one's scared of you, bro. No one's scared of you.
I'm scared of me.
Camila, at this point, Veronica Lodge is the savviest businesswoman or business person in Riverdale right now. She's absolutely crushing it. What has it been like for you to see the evolution of her character from season 1 through season 3?
It's been great. I mean, I feel like we're finally in a place where Veronica is no longer back and forth with her dad. It's like a very clear villain in her life. And I think part of her storyline last season was her coming to terms with like taking him down and being very adamant about that, which she succeeded in. So I feel like getting her father in prison was her finally doing that. And I think in season 4, we're gonna see Veronica struggling with the repercussions of that, because Hiram is a vengeful person, and he's going to be causing trouble. And I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about like what starts to happen in episode 2. Do you know what I'm saying?
Say it.
I can say that, right? He's sending paparazzi to her, and which causes a distraction at school and gets Veronica in trouble. And because Veronica's making headlines, that's making it complicated for her to apply to colleges.
Well, also, both of her parents are in jail right now, so what does that mean for Veronica's home life?
It means there's nobody home and she can invite whoever she wants.
Hey.
Are you going to be shooting any scenes in the Pembroke then?
I think there's a lot of scenes to shoot in the Pembroke.
But Cami, I understand you're also going to be having some extended family dropping in.
There is an extended family member in Veronica's life that she didn't know existed, which is definitely going to be another part of Veronica's storyline in season 4.
Anything else you can tease for us?
I don't think so.
You guys know about the storyline you two are in?
No, I just heard of this through Madeline, but Madeline can take it away.
Okay, well, all I know is you put your hand over my mouth by saying anything I shouldn't. Well, Veronica and Cheryl team up for a business venture and get into some sticky trouble.
We have a fun, Veronica and Cheryl are going to become business partners, kind of combining different aspects of their lives, and it's going to be really, really fun. It's a little bit like Risky Business.
Hey.
Is maple syrup involved?
No comment.
We're making a maple syrup rum.
That was supposed to be a secret.
KJ, obviously. Archie's going to be wrestling a lot this year. Wrestling with a lot this year, but I understand he's going to
Probably
have a lot.
wrestling a lot as well.
Well, he does every single sport out there at this point. Probably still boxing, but he's going to be dealing with the death of his father. But what else can you tell us about his journey in season 4?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of football this season, which is going to be fun. I love working with Charles, doing all that. Charles Melton plays Reggie, so that'll be nice. Me and Mad Dog are spending a lot of time together this season too.
I like Mad Dog.
Possibly could be.
The big announcement about
Yes,
Mad Dog.
don't forget the announcement.
Well,
Tell
something
them.
that I'm really excited about actually is we're finding out his real name, which is something
cool.
I just, I know you guys are really excited about.
We're all really excited.
We're all very excited about it.
No,
Mad Dog needs a name.
and he could possibly be being introduced into the Bulldogs, which could be fun. But yeah.
Well, and you can't talk about football and Archie without mentioning music. So what can you tease for the fans that's coming
Call
up?
for starting a band,
Called?
the Archies.
Roberto, why did you want to bring this iconic Archie's comic band to life this season?
You know, it's
They can do
funny,
Sugar
when
Sugar?
When I originally pitched the TV series, in my mind, the end of season 1 was going to be a big battle of the bands between the Archies and the Pussycats. And of course, the show then became what it became. And as we were getting ready to do a bunch of stories set in the high school, because it's senior year, I was like, it's this year or never. So we're doing a Battle of the Bands episode, which I think will be really, really fun.
Woo!
Who's on what?
Yeah,
Archie's playing
Break the instrument
Guitar.
Roberto.
Yeah, well, in the cartoon, Archie's guitar and lead singer, Veronica's tambourine.
No, that's Betty, you're pretty sure.
Oh, that's Betty's the tambourine.
I think she's the tambourine.
Jughead is on drums, and then Veronica keyboard.
Maybe. Saxophone.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Saxophone.
Saxophone for sure. Saxophone.
Cole, I think I speak for all of us when I say you blew everyone away on the song 17 and the musical episode.
Woo!
So is Jughead singing singing going to be a more regular occurrence?
Every episode.
I don't know, Roberto, is it? Jughead joins the a cappella band, a cappella club. No.
Like, oh my god, I actually thought
No.
That would be so good.
I do love every time we get to hear Madeline sing. She has such an amazing voice. We'll be hearing her more this year as well.
Yeah, definitely. We'll still be doing. We're definitely going to do a musical episode the way we did in season 2 and 3.
Cool.
And we'll have songs kind of throughout the season as we normally do.
Thanks, Leanne. That's all I know.
Well, it wouldn't be Riverdale unless we, of course, talked about some relationships. So we're going to go through some of our favorite couples right now. And for our cast members, you can tell us what you know is coming up for them, and then also what you think their ideal date would be. So, kicking us off, Madeline, what can you tell us about Cheryl and Tony in season 4?
Well, I love them together. We come off in season 4 starting with them in a fairly strong place, like they're starting off well. Obviously, Cheryl is keeping a body-sized secret from her girlfriend, so I think we'll probably get into the stickiness of that in a little bit. But I, Madeline, truly hope and believe that Shoney's endgame. I think they're so sweet together, and Tony brings out such a great side of Cheryl. So we'll see, I guess. It's up to this guy right here. And then I guess our perfect date would be going on the motorcycle and just, going around the block, staying at home, watching a movie, I don't know.
Amazing, cute stuff.
Dope.
Very cute. Lily and Cole, what can you tell us about Betty and Jughead in season 4?
I don't know. I'm not told anything, but love you too, guys. We are, Jughead is going to prep school, so he's only going to be in Riverdale on the weekends. So I don't know. I mean, I think Betty is really supportive of him, and she thinks he's such a good writer, and fully supported him going to this school because she wants the best for him and for his education. He wants to be the first Jones man to go to college, so she's super supportive of him. As far as their relationship, I think they're strong, but I'm sure something's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, as of now, they're super strong. But I'm sure the prep school in there, I'm sure there's going to be, a little bit offbeat outsider, manic pixie dream girl inside of the prep school. It's just the same kind of offbeat as Jughead. I have no idea, but they're super strong right now. And I think the distance can make the heart grow fonder.
And if you had to plan an ideal Bughead date, what would it be?
I was thinking probably like an exit game. You know those games?
Yeah, the escape
room. They'd solve it in like half a second. And
Can't escape your feelings.
right.
Can't escape your feelings.
KJ and Cammy, what can you tell us about Veronica and Archie this year?
Pretty solid, eh?
Solid as ever. Bachi's killing it. Bachi's killing it right now. I think with both
Varchi.
them going through stuff this season, I think it's good they have each other and it means a lot to both of them.
Yeah, I think especially with everything that's going on in Archie's personal life. We saw Veronica last time when something tragic happened. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know how to be a girlfriend for him. And then this time we see her really stepping up to the plate and being there, being supportive, being strong for him. And it's made them stronger.
And their ideal date?
Their ideal date? I don't know. Like
A shower.
under the shower.
Shower.
Probably a shower. Another fireside rendezvous. KJ's face.
Sick. Cool.
Roberto, which other of our Riverdale couples will be heating up this year? Will we maybe finally get an on-screen kiss between FP and Alex?
Yes, we will definitely be getting an on-screen kiss between FP and Alice, for sure.
Woo!
One of Kevin's old flames is going to be coming back as well.
Oh.
Well, which leads me into our next next
moose,
question.
maybe.
Now, I'm so thrilled to have all of our actors here today, but I, of course, do want to talk about some actors and characters who are not here today so we can kind of get a little scoop on what's going on with them in season 4. Roberto, fans have been asking for years about Tony Topez's backstory. Is this the year we're going to get it?
We are definitely getting her backstory. I will say that we do know some stuff about Tony's. We met her grandfather once. We know that her uncle wasn't supportive when Tony tried to come out. So we are definitely going to learn a little bit more about that. And I think we are gonna see Tony in a good place. And we've got some fun stuff planned. For instance, on Halloween for them.
Ooh.
Like what? Do you want to spill the tea or?
Let's
So we will be getting more
Yes,
tips, so
for
that's
sure.
Fantastic. Now, Kevin, he can never seem to catch a break. I'm excited that it sounds like an old flame is coming back. What else can we expect from him in season 4?
You know, one of my favorite things is that in episode 2, we are telling a really strong Benny-Kevin story. And we were reminded when every year we rewatched the pilot that Kevin was always hanging out in Betty's bedroom and they were always gossiping and stuff. So we're getting back to that friendship, I think. And, he's going to be trying to direct a musical in which no one dies. And
Yeah.
Betty's a little mad at him
Yep.
right now because the last time we saw him and her, he was dragging her across the floor, if you remember, to get her organs removed.
Right, so there's some reparations to be made.
Veronica would never do that, just
I know.
With Josie off in New York, aka starring in the upcoming CW series Katie Keene, is there a chance that
Oh.
we can see her return to Riverdale this year?
I didn't know she was leaving.
Yeah, Ashley, Josie already came back. She came back for episode 1. We wanted everyone to be a part of that episode, and she came back.
And what about Mr. Reggie Mantle?
You know, we're definitely going to see a lot of Charles, and KJ alluded to seeing a lot of football this season, which we're going to do, and Charles, and I think